Good afternoon, Crestwood. Hope you all are doing well on this rainy Wednesday. We've had quite a deluge today, and so hope you all are staying dry and safe today. It's an honor for me to be with you today and to provide this devotion for you for this Wednesday, September 22nd. Today I'm thinking about what it means to be humble. What it means to be humble. I preached a few weeks ago on Jesus saying, don't try to sit close to the host of a dinner party and then have to be told you should be sitting further away and be humiliated, but instead sit at the furthest place and the lowest place and let yourself be invited to sit closer to the host. So sort of start in the lowest place. That's countercultural today. We are not supposed to start at the lowest place, but we are supposed to constantly seek the highest place, constantly seek better reputation, more status, more notoriety. And a lot of Jesus' teaching about humility is a challenge for us. When we think that the word humility and humiliation have the same root, which simply means earth or down to earth, we don't always seek that, and that gets especially true in our divided culture. But I was reading a passage this week from 1 Peter, and he says this. He says, "Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that God may lift you up in due time." And in the devotional that was talking about what it means to be humble, the person was saying that the Hebrew word for humble or humility is anavah, A-N-A-V-A-H. And one of the ways to translate that is it means to take up your God-given space in the world. And I love that imagery, that we have a God-given space in this world that is uniquely created for us. And we are called to take that up, to take our place in the overall tapestry of God's creation in this world. To be humble means to fill that space. And so oftentimes we think of being humble means, you should think less of yourself. You should think of yourself as the worst person. You should always put others' needs before yourself. And I think there's some truth to that as far as what it means to be humble. Part of being humble means don't take up too much space. Don't take up more of the space than you have been allotted by God in this world. And I think there are many of us who take up way more space than is necessary and don't allow space for others. But it also means don't take up too little space in this world. God has created a space that only you can fit into in this world. And so don't humble yourself so much that you're not taking up that space, because God has given you gifts, God has given you graces, God has given you talent, God has given you a word to speak and a life to live and a light to shine. And if you humble yourself too much, then you're not honoring those God-given gifts. You're not taking up that space that God has given you. So I think part of the challenge of living life these days is striking that balance between not taking up too much space, but not taking up too little space, because God has called each of us into this world to live out the unique gifts and the unique graces that we have been given. So to do that, we can't humble ourselves so much that we don't honor those God-given gifts that are inside each one of us. We are called to honor them in a way that honors others and doesn't just, elevate ourselves above others. So I want to encourage you today to think about, what is your God-given space in this world? And are you taking up too much? Are you taking up more space so that others have less? And are you taking up enough space? Are you living out your gifts? Are you shining your light enough that it is making a difference for people? So, friends, I want to encourage you to be humble today, to take up your God-given space in the world in a way that lets others know that God is present through your presence, that God is present through the space that you inhabit. I hope that space is an inviting space, a space that is a welcoming space to others. I hope it's a space that allows you to connect with those around you. So, Crestwood, I want to invite you today to be humble, to take up your God-given space in this world. God bless you, Crestwood.